definitely got to keep it moving, you know, because
Know it.
things may fall apart at any time. So
At any time.
you got to keep them where they're at. Most definitely. We got about a month of summer left. You know, we talking about how hot it is. We got about a month of the summer left, and that will, you know, mark the last quarter of the year.
Right.
And also today we got the nominations for the MTV VMA Awards. You know, and yeah, dope. But hip hop has been snubbed in the major categories once again. Like I don't care, song of the year, video of the year, best artist, and new artists. I think new artists. And with so many of our bigger artists making high level music, this is a sign that is this a sign of hip hop fatigue?
Right. You know, I mean, you know, the whole year everybody's been talking about a lot of the newer artists have not been hitting, you know, their strides on dropping albums. They haven't hit 100,000, you know, in the first week, you know, for a lot of the newer artists. A lot of the legendary artists, you know, they still do what they do. I really just think, you know, some of these award shows, I don't think they're in tune enough. I really don't think they're in tune enough, because even a couple of award shows we watched this year, like I watched some of the categories be kind of off. What I mean by that is, you know, I watched the new artist category from the BT Awards, and I was like, yo, y'all got some cats that's been in the game for about 10 years on a new artist. Like, come on, man. Like, what we doing? What are we doing? You know what I mean?
And of course, the VMAs is really geared towards music, video music.
Yeah, you know, video music. Right, right.
Music videos.
Right. And, you know, I can't really say that I can even remember any really, really popular videos. Just the aesthetic of what a great video is. I mean, this whole year, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. You know what I mean? But that probably might be a reason why they didn't select a lot of hip hop. You know what I mean? That could be the thing.
Let's show what they do have for the hip hop category, should we say? There is Cardi B featuring Kalani, Safe, Don Toliver, E85, Drake, Janet, shut the fuck up, Megan Thee Stallion, Lover Girl, Travis Scott for Dumbo, and Tyler the Creator, Sugar on My Tongue, which was a dope ass video. E85 was too, I guess. And shout out Don Toliver. Shout out all the artists, of course. But there's a lot more hip hop representation in a few other categories, but none for the big four, of course, which we have for every award show.
And then even all of those videos, like, to be honest, all of those videos, in my opinion, except for probably Don Toliver, not really great videos. I mean, they're cool, pretty cool, but you remember what the video awards used to go to, like high quality, stellar, almost movie type videos. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people was really constructing to put on something that magical as a video no more. I think that time has passed. I think that time of having $1 million fully laid out video, that's over with. That's over with. They're doing the visuals so you can connect to the record, but I don't think nobody's really trying to go overboard no more.
I want to look it up. I think the last hip hop video that won video award was Kendrick Lamar, but I just
most
can't
likely
record.
Most likely,
I think it was King Kunta.
That was a dope video.
That kind of, I don't know. That sounds a little weird for, you know, an award show to give that record or that video.
Right. But the one he had that the one that he had that had Meryl Streep on was it Meryl Streep, or it was that one lady that played a lot of different roles. That was a great video. And that was from the Damn album. He had a couple of great videos that really told a story. But there's also a lot of artists. You remember Busta Rhymes had a whole run with some of the greatest videos ever. You know what I mean? Still being mimicked to this day. You know, those videos are still being mimicked to this day. You know what I mean? I remember, you know, Missy Elliott, fire videos. You know what I'm saying?
From
it's not like that no more.
To the last.
Yeah, it's
Missy
not like
had
that
some
no
of the dopest videos. I love the Pass That Dutch one where it was mixed with the other one. Out of Control, Mr. Me with Sierra, and then they flew back on the wall. Missy, she wore the trash bag. You know, she had the big suit.
You already know, classic.
The rain. Always. She was Mega Man with the Brad and
come on, that was fire.
Mm-hmm.
That was fire. But you know, it's not. Maybe I don't know if people are just not wanting to make them. I don't think the teams and the artists and the labels. I don't know if they want to make them, or I don't know if the fans are just not more open to it. You know what I'm saying? They're not open to giving it as much praise. You know what I mean? It's a sad thing, because some of the things that we really love, that we used to look forward, and not to sound old or anything, but it's real. We used to look forward. We used to run to the TV at a certain time to catch a video.
It was a thing.
That used to be the thing. Like, I gotta watch this. Now it's like, oh, they dropped the video. It's on YouTube. Okay, they can still check it out from their phones right there on the spot. But the anticipation of wanting to look through the video, catching the little Easter eggs, seeing who all is cameos in the video, that was a whole department itself when you was making a video. Who's going to be the cameos?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And it's a shame that it's been lost to the wayside, because, you know, I just like you said, I lived right across the street from my elementary and junior high school, and middle school, should they say. Right. And I would go home for lunch every day. Literally live right across the street. Go home every single day for lunch. In between periods, just, you know, whenever I needed to go home, parents sanctioned it. Just, you know, if you need to go home, go home. So I took full advantage of it. But lunchtime was Video Soul, was Caribbean Rhythms later on. That was later on. That was later on, of course, but you know, not too much later on. But of course, the VH1 was a really good outlet for music videos, not just hip hop,
but all styles,
all the stuff. I don't know how much, you know, music that I learned and you know, came across just from the video, seeing it on, you know, all these outlets that used to be out. I was always mad, or not mad, but jealous of y'all for having, or people on the East Coast for having the video music box.
You know it.
I just checked the stories. And, you know, it just seems like we had the box, but the box wasn't really.
No, but the box is still fire, because I experienced the box too. I experienced that because I used to come out for summertime to the West Coast until I officially came to move here. But the box was lit, because it was like, it took a long time for, when you called in for a video, it took a long time for your video to come on officially. But they had records. I remember they used to play so many joints. They used to play DRS. They used to play I remember they used to play what's the record? Ahmad. Back in the day, they used to play that a grip. And then of course the music, the R&B videos was lit. Jodeci going crazy, you know what I'm saying? SWV going crazy. My sister used to, man, she used to find ways to pay for them videos and get that rocking. I remember I used to record the videos. I used to record it on VHS tape. You know what I'm saying? So I could just save that. And I probably still got some VHS tapes.
I definitely do.
Recorded.
I still have a whole lot of them.
Yeah, man.
Classic videos of the box of Pump It Up, of MTV Raps. I really do need to get in some of those bins and check it out. But
because at the time, I even remember back with Pop-Up Video. You remember Pop-Up Video?
Pop-Up Video.
Yeah. And it was dope because you watching the video, but they're also giving little tidbits and fun facts.
It was informative. Yes.
Yeah. That was like a short little behind the scenes to these videos coming out and things like that. And that was fire. I mean, but see, that era, the video was the driving marketing force to the song and the albums. That time is not here anymore. Now it's the video is still prominent, because if you get 1 million views on the video in the first couple of days, you're doing well. People have their eyes on it. But it's not broadcast TV where it's like millions of people. Now it's millions of people that will tune into it if you promote it right on these platforms. You know what I'm saying? And then
if not, they're automatically tuning into something else and almost tuning your video out almost through the algorithm. What I'm saying?
Exactly. You see when Drake dropped his latest album, he released probably like about 8 videos that same day when he released the album. He had like 8 videos out. You know what I mean? Which is a good strategy, but once again, the value of the music video is not what it once was. I do still believe that videos are important because it helps people connect with the song. It helps them connect. In my opinion, especially videos.
And it shows a different side of your artistry as well.
Yeah, exactly. Your other creative elements that you may not have been able to display it in the actual music. You'll put it in the visual, you put it in the fashion, you put it in the, the way the artist might even direct the video. Who knows? You know what I mean? Right. Which is dope. I just say continue to use music videos as a driving force to what you're doing. But in terms of like the best music video awards, like it's not what it once was at all.
Word. Also, shout out to Drake. Out of those 8, he struck 1 for 8.
Right? Like,
not sure, not really that good, man.
But his video was too, though. He had some great visuals, and I think Janice might have been the most popular record that had a video from his catalog. So yeah, rightfully so, he's in there. I think Don Toliver's video is probably the best out of all of them, all of those selections.
That's important because, again, with these nominations that they released, it's not always tied to a video, but the hip hop category is.
Right.
Best hip hop needs a video attached to it. If not, you're not going to win that Moon guy or Moon woman.
Yeah. Or you probably won't even get nominated per se.
Exactly. Yeah. It won't even get nominated. Right. But I don't see why hip hop would be putting up any type of hubbub about this, because who did they expect would win? I just was looking at it. Going back to at least 2017, and that's damn near 10 years ago by now. There's only been 3 winners in these categories, these big 4 categories that we're talking about representing hip hop. Kendrick Lamar won the best video in 2017. Damn, it still doesn't say what video it was for. I knew he won one, and yeah, that's the last one I can think of. Right, exactly. Cardi B won Best New Artist in 2017, and Ice Spice won in 2023. So yeah, that's 3 hip hop wins in the last 10 odd years.
Right.
No one, nobody gonna win. So why is this even a thing? Why are people making a big deal about this?
I mean, it's almost like you pretty much said the black viewership needs to be non-existent for this award show. I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? The one thing I will say is, when it's awards time, I don't think a lot of the artists are preparing for awards time. Like, there is the marketing department or your team or whoever is doing your rollouts. There is a strategy for how to promote or even do certain forms of medium, whether it's the music, whether it's the video, with in mind the awards, the awards submissions, submitting to the Grammys, submitting to all these awards, because they have, in order to be looked at and possibly nominated, you have to submit. With that being said, a lot of these labels and these teams, it's a big thing for them, because that's how in history's time, that's how people can resonate a particular artist or project with great history of your genre. So that's an important thing. Like, even if you was making a ton of money with your album, you went platinum, double platinum, whatever, but you didn't win an award, sometimes it gets a little bit difficult when the historians come through to be able to continue to tell the story. Kendrick will forever be submitted in the history of our culture not just because he's great, but also because he's won some of the highest awards of music, and that he can also tell that story at the same time.
Right.
Drake, not so much. Not saying that his story still won't be well received in the history of hip hop, but you can tell that there's a difference in how people might perceive winning awards and not winning awards. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And well received is a definite understatement. It will be well revered.
Right.
Going to be
exactly. So I'm saying that to say, when these teams are putting together these runs, they're thinking about, okay, which director we want to hire to do the video. What story do we want to tell? Even sometimes they might think about, okay, what technology or what creative elements have TV and film been doing that we can incorporate into what we do? You remember when The Matrix dropped? Mm-hmm. You start seeing a gang of music videos that got the Matrix element. Everybody doing that. Everybody having fun. Same thing with, classic TV and film antics. Busta Rhymes redid Knight Rider. There's so many other things that you can incorporate. But they do that because if they know Matrix won best film, yada, 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 they want to do a video in the same light. Hopefully they can get close to winning an award as well.
Right.
At the same time, they think about wardrobe, fashion designers that are high value. All of these things take place. So when these voters vote on these music videos, they're taking into account all of those things. Oh, Beanie Boom did another video. Okay, boom. Let's see. That might be a winner. Oh, this such and such person. You got this director from a movie to actually do a music video, or they're shooting in this context that looks like Dune or looks like Avengers. Like all of these things you take into consideration. So when it's time for award time, and when you win the award for the best music video or best music and things like that, now all your hard work, all of the delegation of putting together this whole run during award time is successfully paid off. Right. They did the same thing with Rhapsody. Not only did they make stellar music with Rhapsody, great visuals aligned with it. She was on great interviews that told the story the right way. Mm-hmm. The Erykah Badu record was perfect, how they did all of the visuals behind it and the music, everything collectively, even with her performing. And then when she gets the award, it's all for the right reasons. The award is really just a step. I'm not saying that it's the most highest value thing in the entire run, because of course, getting your money is a great thing. Mm-hmm. But when you look back at Rhapsody's story, the fact that she has a Grammy, a part of that, it's going to be, like you said, well revered for sure.
And what a great run it is. What good work that lady is doing.
She will get another one. Mark my words, she will get the next Grammy with this next album and this next run. Mark my words, she'll have another one.
Well, with all that being said, like, so don't think I don't see what you do, Rob. Rob is good, y'all think he's the counselor for nothing. Y'all think he's the workload for nothing. So I guess with that being said, when we think about striking at the right time, which is basically what you were talking about, whether that's through the fashion, the culture, whatever's going on in the zeitgeist. If you have something to say about that and you are dope, that's when you can blow.
Right.
Pretty much. In summarizing kind of what you were saying, but the topic is, what is the best quarter? Or, with all that being said, is there a best quarter of a business year, of a fiscal year for a person, an artist to drop music?
For sure. First things first, labels definitely play by these elements. When artists drop, usually when they sign an artist, they go through a development phase. But when it's time for them to release some music, they're very critical on what quarter, based on how music has been moving for the past couple of years. And then also naturally, the style of music that you're putting out, the context, the concepts, the mood, the drive, the tempo, all of those things play a part in how you want to put out the music, or what quarter you're going to put the music out in. Like, for instance, let's say, so we have first quarter, top of the year, January, February, March. Second quarter, April, May, June, part of July. Third quarter is August, September, October, and well, fourth quarter is November, December. It's still going back to January. So that's,
but also it's important to know that as any corporation or company, you know, your fiscal year is your fiscal year.
Right,
you
right.
Can start that in June. You can start that in May. So it's not the same for everyone.
Exactly. So in music, you know, usually like the second quarter is where a lot of up-tempo music comes out in. Reason being is because it's the summertime. It's also still part of spring. So there's a lot of prom time. There's a lot of celebration situations.
It's right after tax season. It's right during tax season.
Exactly. Tax season, people spending money, everybody going up. So you would probably put out a club record or something that's up-tempo and feeling good around that time. You don't have to do that, but that's where generally people understand the energy of the world operates in that context.
Right.
Then you have the first quarter. Is a lot of people don't drop the first quarter because first quarter is usually for like who's hot, who's popping, who's on somebody's radar, who's next up. Right. That's a thing, right? And even with that, it's like it's a good quarter for new artists to test the water. What do we have? What can we drop? We just signed this new artist. What can we put out? Even if the record has been going for a couple of months, in the first quarter, if they bring them on board, let's continue the flow of the record.
Yeah.
Third quarter is a pretty good quarter because that's where album mode, like it's the fall. You know what I mean? You want to do some nice R&B. You want to do some contemporary style music.
For those who are like really on top, they want to win award season, like you started out when award season.
Award season, that's the time. You know what I'm saying? That's where a lot of conceptual style music, you would say, would come together, right? Then we have fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is usually like a lot of times, a lot of the power players will drop in the fourth quarter before they go on vacation. But it's not a quarter that people normally drop through.
But one thing that I did see, that's big. I'm trying to get this to. He released a lot of these albums in the fourth quarter. This is Jay-Z's discography. And so, like you said, when we're talking about the people on the top, they can do that. Like
they can do that.
Right. So it
is a quarter, not to cut you off, but it's a quarter where everybody's finalizing things. A lot of times you get certain artists or certain crews being signed during the fourth quarter, so everybody can go on vacation and regroup and come back and say, okay, what do we need to do? If you look up a lot of histories of hip hop signings, it's usually in the fourth quarter. But like you said, Jay-Z's biggest runs is always the fourth quarter because a couple of things. He understands that there's not going to be a lot of people dropping around that time unless you're a major artist and you're bold. Secondly, and this is one, and Jay-Z's very smart for this. You know that there's really two times where people spend a lot of money on music and like family. It's summertime and it's holiday season. Those two times, they spending wild dough because they're going to spend money on the music because the music is going to drive the energy of them doing anything. When you go on vacation, people used to carry their Walkmans, they used to carry their boom boxes, all the way fast forward to now, where you got your phone loaded up with your Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Tidal, whatever it is. You got your playlist of what you finna play or what album you finna play when you on vacation, and when you on holiday season vacation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Got the whole thing. So in Jay-Z's eyes, if he can squeeze in an album before you officially hit late November where actual holiday music goes, that means that you're either listening to holiday music or the Jay-Z album for the last 3 months of the year.
That's holiday music is always hard to go against. Mariah Carey made $1 billion from that one record. And I think the trade-off is we don't need to listen to any of her music any other time of the year. No, I'm just kidding. We love.
Well, Mariah. I mean, we love Mariah, but yeah, her Christmas music is fire. It's killer. She gonna always eat off of that. But that's a very small window. But if you execute it right, you'll be the talk of the town for those 3 months, plus an extra 2 months when everybody come back to work. When the labels come back to work and you still on fire, that's it. Now, case in point, I'll say that. I'll tell you a story. So we, everybody know I was a part of, crafting and putting together Cali Swag's Teach Me How to Dougie, right? When we put out that record, in the third quarter. We put out that record in like August, right? It started going and started doing its thing. Cali Swag performing at the school tours, things like that. Shout out to Randy's school tour. Out there doing their thing, promoting the record. We not on radio yet, but it's getting some good love, on, just record being out there. We did shoot the first music video. You was there because you was shooting it. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, first music video was going well. We doing our thing.
And just not to cut you off, but thanks again. You rest in peace, Big Y. Shout out for all the opportunities that opened up for me. Continue.
Yeah, for facts, man. You did your thing. So music video was out. They performing on school tours. Everything's going well. Now the holiday season is coming, but this record is still going. It's going. It's selling. We already had it up. You know what I'm saying? On TuneCore, it's already selling. It's doing its thing. It's becoming popular. It's still booming all the way during the Christmas time till January.
Search it on TikTok. Look at millions of videos.
Millions of views. People in the industry know. In January, the second and third week of January, everybody at the labels are going back to work. They're going back to work. If it's not like January 18th through the 20th or the 25th, that's where everybody going back to work. The number one question, and I want y'all to hear this, the number one question that the labels in the music industry asks when everybody gets back to work in late January is who is hot? Who has a record that's going? Who's on fire? That's the question they ask. And whoever got a record that's going, they're going to attack them and say, hey, we need to go sign them. Right. Teach Me How to Dougie was on fire doing this thing all the way till January. By the time the end of January came, they was beating down our door trying to sign us.
And that's what a lot of people don't know, that these records, these songs of the summer are sometimes cooked up in December and January.
Right. So everywhere from Atlantic, Capitol, Sony, it was offers everywhere. And we have more music we cooking up more records, but that record is just going crazy. We end up signing the Capitol. Everything worked out great. And y'all see the history of what that record is. The point that I'm making is if you're independent, because at that moment, we were independent when we dropped that record. But if you're independent and you decide to work in the third and fourth quarter, just know, work to get your record as hot as possible. Because if you get it hot during a holiday season, they're going to come beating down your door when they come back to work. I promise you that. Remember, the labels and everybody is closed. In December to mid-December to the beginning of January, it's closed. They're not doing nothing. They're not signing nobody. They're not dropping nothing. They're not doing nothing. That means that you got a whole, month and a half to 2 months, however you want to look at it, to drop music and promo and try to be on fire. Because if you're the first person that's on the desk, of who they need to search for when they come back, you finna get a check. You finna get a bag. You know what I mean? So using these, and I'll answer the question about when is the best time to drop music, because it's a two-part answer. When it comes to artists that are signed to labels and organizations, you want to maximize their dollar amount because you have a budget. Let's talk about the artists who have a budget. So, in my opinion, second quarter, which is the summer quarter, and third quarter are the best times to drop music when you have a machine behind you, when you have a company or organization behind you. Because the summertime and then the fall, all eyes going to be on you. Summertime, everybody outside, anything up tempo is a go. Fall time, anything conceptual. If you're a conceptual type of artist, you're doing anything of that nature that's really bringing intellectual levels, really storytelling, good videos, all that type of stuff. Do it third quarter. That's money. Now, if you are independent, your quarters, in my opinion, are the fourth quarter and the second quarter, because you have the ability as an independent to drop whatever you want. So you can really flood the market if you want. You can play all quarters if you want, but I'm saying your strongest records or strongest possible songs that can get everywhere, drop it in the second quarter, because that's summertime. Have fun with all of that. Even gangster rap. Like, remember, gangsters get out of jail in the summertime. They give them release dates in the summertime because they hope they fuck up and go back to jail. So
is that a thing? Is that always the thing? And I've worked in the jails. They kind of just get out when they get out.
Yeah, for the most part. But I'm saying gangster music is prime in the second quarter because it's going to lead into the summertime with people hopping in their rides. Popping, what I'm saying? It's girls all around. You want to have your low rider. You want to do your thing. It's lit. Yeah. Then you got the fourth quarter where everybody quiet, so you get a chance to kind of sneak through everybody and try to get something rocking and popping. Especially if you're being mega consistent in the fourth quarter, you got a chance to be on fire coming into the new year. You know what I mean? Right. So those things are important, because your layout of how you dispense music and content is even more important now that we have such a big surge of music and content going around. But if you're really strategic and you understand the quarters, you know what I mean, and how they work, you can work it in your favor because you're independent and you can do things that the other majors can't. The major label artists can't do. You know what I mean? If I was somebody that was an artist, I would ask my team to really pay attention to everybody that's dropping, not just major artists, but anybody on my radar. As an independent artist, anybody on the radar, let's see what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if we want to work together. Or especially, looking for people that I might want to work with.
Thank you. Even features, like, I'm glad you said that. Even features are selected based on quarters sometimes.
Right.
If you know that you got somebody like a Nicki Minaj or a Cardi B that's going to drop in a quarter,
and you know she now be on not the quarter for Nicki Minaj, but I know what you're saying.
But if you know Cardi B is coming out in the third quarter, right? You know she probably might be quiet in the first and the second. You could probably get a feature from her during that time that's not going to interfere with her releases. And it might be for a better price as opposed to when she on her run. She might not even do it when she on her run.
Well, she might even be a bad example, man. Well, she had 2 albums in the last 15 years.
Yeah, but remember her feature game was crazy.
That part, but I'm not thinking about releases. I didn't know that's what we were talking about. Just any release. Just any release. That is what it is, because I didn't specify album or anything. It was right. Released music. Right. Gotcha.
I would just say pay attention to their releases for a multitude of reasons. Because maybe you might want to work with them to get them on your project, or maybe you might want to stay away from them if your music is similar. Like, there's so many different reasons that you can bring up, but paying attention to people's releases is important. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in the game. You say if you in the, it's nothing different than if you're a basketball player, you want to know who scored 30, you want to know who scored 20, you want to know who had 10 assists. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. If you're a sign painter, you want to know who did that joint over there. If you a graffiti artist, you want to know who threw that dope ass piece up. Like,
exactly. You want to know who territory is what based on how often they go in that area and spray paint. You know what I mean? Like it's a part of the game. I encourage every artist, especially indie artists, to get into that world and that science of doing your research on when is the best time for you to put out music. You know what I mean?
Dope. Yeah, man. Always much appreciated. Y'all clap it up for the counselor. This is what he's here for. And before we hit halftime, let me just thank you for that, man. You always be on point with the artist and the creative's point of view on things.
I appreciate that.
Never lacking on it, dude. There always have been. Shout out to you for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm gonna keep bringing it. Yes, sir. Things fall apart, man. This is what we're here for. We're here to help, hopefully shed some light on certain elements of the music industry and the culture and just the creative aspect, and hopefully I can get something from it. You know what I mean?
And people don't know like the inside of the conversation that we're having. Like, hopefully they'll catch up on things, when the viewership, keeps moving on. Thank you guys for watching.
Sure. Man, thank y'all for watching. Yeah, y'all been going in on our on the new Instagram too, so I appreciate that. I've been seeing the comments. Shout out to y'all for sure. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about this. That's what it's about, man. It's about us talking about these things. Like, that's the only way we're gonna get through it is if we talk about it. Let's have a conversation about it. So we appreciate y'all. Yep,
talk about it, not let it fall apart. What we do at halftime is record of the day.
You know it.
We're still going through this stack of classic albums is what the record will be. But I've even, expanded what we got. Pick stack 1 or stack 2.
Mm-hmm. So you evolving. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna automatically go to stack 2.
Okay.
I feel like it's the most freshest records right now. And we're gonna pick 9. You're gonna go, my favorite number, 9. We're gonna go to 9.
Okay, I haven't even picked the stack yet. Stack 2 is right here. The audience to fill you in. We usually just pick one. Rob always chooses the best album from 1 through 10 from the stack of my record collection.
Man,
he always picks the dopest records. I have so many records. Again, these are classic albums. I haven't shuffled yet. Let me do that.
Man, make sure y'all check out the last episode too, because we ended up picking my favorite record of all time. And go check the last episode to see what that is.
People always, not people always, but I saw one of y'all. I'm not gonna call you out, but talking about I be picking the album that I want, and it ain't really shuffling. I don't know what you're actually talking about there. Let's cut them right now.
It's just random, man. Random action.
I'm picking it from here. This is number it is 9. It is supposed to be a stack of 10. Damn, I hope y'all don't think I'm cheating, but it is number 9. I got 10, 11, 12 right here in my hand, but number 9 comes out.
Let's go.
It is. Yeah, this is, I deem it a classic album. Y'all tell me if y'all think so or not. I didn't put it here for nothing. Crazy that somebody paid $5.99 for it. As the 4th, maybe 5th album from this dude who is widely considered as one of the best MCs from the Wu-Tang Clan. This is Bulletproof Wallets.
Let's go, big guns. Wait, that's Wu-Tang 2 times in a row. Let's go.
We do pick a lot of Wu. You do pick a lot of Wu out of this.
Hey, man, I'm connected. I'm connected to the Wu elements, man. Come on, what you mean?
This is Bulletproof Wallets. It is a promo. It's the clean edition of all of this. But what is very interesting about this album is it was labeled wrong, for one. And then it had the sun on here. Sun.
Yeah, the sun. I think
it's got the sun featuring Slick Rick. What'd you say?
I think it was a version that they took the sun off, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it's totally mislabeled. There's a record that is not supposed to be on here. It's got the Good Times joint on here, which is not labeled. Yeah, it's got Good Times, which is not labeled on here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It has a different version of Maxine.
Yeah, Maxine. Yeah.
Alternate version.
Maxine. Right. I like the dirty one, the dirty Maxine joint. You know what I'm saying? The new one got the more cleaner version. And I don't like it. I mean, I really don't like the drums and just how clean it sounds. And then even at the very end, I think is it Theodore? Pay Big Bummer for his lyrics. That part is even different. And I'm like, I like the original one, man. I like the original one. This is
one hell of an album right here. It had the single "Never Be the Same Again." Carl Thomas and Raekwon. He was talking about Shorty who did him wrong, so it'll never be the same again between them two.
My favorite two records is the Hilton and Strawberry. On there.
I like the Forest when he was talking about all the characters.
Yep.
That was dope. Jealousy. I like how they flipped that the double time. Yeah, what a great album.
Bulletproof Wallets is the Ghostface album where he started to transition into more working with the Theodore unit, which was his crew, and then also that whole element that whole magical style element that Ghost brings started more in Bulletproof Wallets than anything. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, people try to not downplay it, but they try to not mention it because of how great Supreme Clientele was. But in my opinion, it was a great project that came after Supreme Clientele because it added. It was almost like it was like a not a 2.0, but it offered a different element. Because once we heard Nutmeg, and once we heard the old school joint, the one where he talks about the junior high days with the girl that he was loving on Supreme Clientele, we loved those records so much. It was like he went more in that bag on Bulletproof Wallets, and we enjoyed it. I love the album. I love the album.
And I could even see the how you said how he got to working on a different musical tip when he got with the Theodore unit and when he started using his own Supreme guys in later records like Jellyfish,
right,
which were on later out records beyond this one,
exactly,
and a few more like The Champ, you
can hear it now. You can hear it. You know what I mean? What was that album? It was the album. It wasn't the album after Bulletproof Wallets. That was Fish Scale. But I'm trying to remember what's the other album that sounded similar to it. Hold on, let me look it up right now. I'm going to tell you right now. And it had a similar.
Fish Scale, Bulletproof Wallets, the Pretty Tony album.
Pretty Tony, that's what it was. That's what it was. The Pretty Tony album was like a secondary to Bulletproof Wallets. It went in that direction.
Most definitely. He had Supreme had that dope ass record on there.
Yep. And Ghost Dini, the Wizard of Poetry in Emerald City. That one, same thing, going in that same direction. You know what I'm saying?
That's where they had the on that one. It was they had the alternate version, but the only thing that was different was the street chemistry.
Right.
Well, he's coming back. Yeah, that fucking record is hard. Yeah.
Ghost.
Bulletproof Wallet, record of the day, y'all.
Yeah, man. Every year, Ghost climbs the ladder in the most elite MCs, in my opinion. He just keeps climbing the ladder because his not only is his previous albums start to grow on people a lot more, but even the current records that he does now, he's still offering other elements and other versions of himself that we can appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Like it's dope. Like, man, Ghost is elite. And then every feature he get on, it's like he bought. I just need to put a playlist together of just Ghost features. Features crazy. Just features. He got joints.
Ghostface was that guy. Shout out to him. Yeah, we got his his offspring dissing him. That's neither here nor there. And hopefully it doesn't turn into something like record of the day. Hopefully that doesn't turn into something like what we're talking about next, and that is hip hop always being in court. I think like the court cases are always being sensationalized.
Right.
Short list here. Tupac is starting. Tupac trial is starting.
Right.
Okay, so the Dirk trial is about to start. Yellow Beezy's about to start.
Right.
Yellow Beezy. YNW Melly is coming up next year, and Pooh Shiesty starting right after him.
Yeah.
What Papoose want to sue Remy? Like,
that's another thing.
What did I just see?
Fuck. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Sir Jinx is suing T.I. Yeah.
For real?
For the record. Yeah, for damn, what is it? Damned or it's a whole record. But yeah, Sir Jinx is let me.
That's crazy. Man, it's a lot of, I mean, people try to equate jail to hip hop so seamlessly. It's not that, but we do get cases where it's like we have to see this thing through. I mean, even, you know, back to, and I'll just speak for my time. I'm not gonna speak before my time, but you know, I remember we watched the whole Snoop Dogg case. I remember we talked about the murder was the case on the record of the day, and remember we had to watch that case. You know what I mean? You know, the stuff that we could see from Tupac's trial with the alleged you know R word. You know what I mean? Back in the days, what we went to jail for. So it's been so many instances where we have to continuously see these court things through. You feel what I'm saying? You know, most recently, of course, Nipsey Hussle and his killer, like, you know, people watch that. Like, it's almost like, you know, our lives are just put on display. You know what I'm saying? Lives are put on display in the music industry. And, you know, even from like even a story like this, like Sir Jinx takes T.I. to court over Dope Profits, the song Dope, and his profits. We see these situations all the time. We see producers, artists suing the labels, suing the producers. We're seeing it in real time more than ever now that social media is out there. I mean, it gets tiresome, but at the same time, I would say take it as education for the next generation, man. Like,
most definitely,
gotta learn from this.
But you know what I'm getting at with the people that I named, some of the people that I named whose trials are going on, and how that's all sensationalized, you know, and every time like you know, Diddy died on the cross, you know, for his musical, and you know, of course, not saying justice doesn't need to be served, or you know, bad or shady business needs to be handled legally, or you know, you just can't slander someone's name, like, you know, these things, you know, have a legal standing, and you can take that up. But what I'm sick of is the fucking criminality of it all. I was just bringing this up because it just caught in my mind as something, you know, that I just saw, of course, you know, I wasn't really equating it to bad business. But yeah, I'm tired of hip hop always being, you know, in front of judge and jury for terrible shit, you know, and like there's who's it? The Aerosmith guy, Steven Tyler. His trial is about to start.
And you don't hear nothing about it.
Nothing. For some terrible accusations. Like, you know, that's just terrible, dude. I'm tired of it. I'm really sick of that. Like,
right. Like we can't do whatever justice in court on our own and not have the tabloids make it this major big spectacle. Not saying it's not as serious as it should be for case by case basis. But it's like everybody's talking about what we're doing in hip hop, and nobody's talking about what's happening in country and all of these other genres and all of these other mediums. Like, come on, man. Like, there got to be some balance. You know what I'm saying? There got to be some balance. Like, and at the end of the day, it's like, even with the Tupac trial, like, and this is just my opinion because I don't know anything about, you know, what happened, how it happened, and things like that. But what I will say is, it seems to me that everybody knew some of the same information that we all been hearing, but it took this long for the trial to happen. Same information. It was even a book written about it from TTD, the guy or whatever. And this long, I don't get it. You know, they're trying to implicate more people, including Diddy, in the whole Tupac thing based on what's been happening in the recent days of the trial. But it's like, man, like, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Like, it's just too much. It's a lot. You know, Pooh Shiesty, he done did, you know, recorded himself and his team with rifles and ARs.
Well, you know, that is interesting. And he also debuted number 7. Right. Where does this criminality in hip hop help an artist? You know, especially when we're thinking about you know, quarters and how businesses run. Like, right, everybody's heard that, you know, the labels, these big labels, shady people in these labels orchestrate these criminal situations for these artists, you know, can't say no to. Right. But, you know, we're not a conspiracy show. Where does that tie into what we're talking about?
You know, the bad part about, you know, the criminality and the energy of that with hip hop is a lot of times with the artists and the labels, when something goes bad, the labels are going to use it to their advantage, and sometimes it benefits the artist. Like, case in point, you know, Pooh Shiesty, he's trying to get out the deal by force, putting out guns and everything, gets filmed and everything, goes to jail, is awaiting trial, and then the labels say, hey, everybody loved Pooh Shiesty. They figure him as a killer, as, you know, somebody that's hardcore. Let's put his album out now because there's no better time for publicity of the album than now. His
so nuts, because who is this label?
Crazy. His album is talking about what he just did to get in jail. Let's put it out. Let's make our money. You know what I mean? Like,
to get off the label that he's still on too, though, man.
The same label. Everybody getting paid the same way. Nothing different. The only thing that's different is that he's in jail. That's the thing. See, that's the part where the artists and the team and the people got to be smart about this, because no matter what's going to happen in hip hop, your album is a go. If you're getting popularity, your album is a go. Something bad happened, your album is a go. Something good happened, your album is a go. That's the bad part, is that the same thing that you would want somebody to do when you're behind the, I'm saying behind the gun as lack of a better phrase, but when you're doing bad and you got a situation going, you would want some of that money to come in to help you fight whatever you got to fight. And then when something's good coming, you want the album to drop. So it's like the labels be like, hey, this is what you want. You want publicity, you want whatever, we're going to use it to our advantage. And that's the part that sucks. You know what I mean? It's like the gift and the curse of hip hop.
You are correct. It is the gift and the curse. Like, this is, I mean, if any of us ever wanted this thing of ours to be the world's culture and everybody's eyes to be on it, like, you know, we just discussed how MTV VMAs are ignoring hip hop in a way. Yeah, if you want the world to be a part of what you know, if you want to display your thing to the world, and we know how dope it is, you know, everybody's, you know, automatically going to latch onto it like they do, from corporatization, from fucking, you know, from adopting the culture, you know. Yeah, when things go bad, everybody wants to know. I know my history enough to know when, you know, every rock and roller or every movie star, you know, all the scandals that they had were right in the tabloids. And it's, you know, probably the fact that we are in the age that we are, the internet age, to where all this shit is going to be right in our face, through our algorithms, phones, like, yeah. So
you know, one more bad thing I'll say. This is crazy. Let's take R. Kelly's case, for instance. He was already selling and doing this thing, whatever. When it gets to the part with his case, the bad part about it was people would go back to his music and listen to his music just to decode all of the things that he said in his music that were geared towards the accusations that was in court. And you know what he did?
That didn't start with R. Kelly, but continue.
Right. You're absolutely right. And it shot their music through the roof.
Right.
A lot of times, the bad publicity gears somebody up to actually give you a chance and listen to your music. If an artist was about to drop their album and they like, hey man, I'm dropping my album, I'm doing interviews, talking to the people, they'd be like, okay, yeah, cool. Well, we'll check it out. We'll listen for it. As opposed to that same artist, this same artist is on a run. He just shot somebody. They're like, what? I didn't know he was a killer. I didn't know he was a killer like that. Let me go back to his catalog and see what indications was he giving us if he was a killer, and they'll be driving those streams through the roof.
That's what I was getting at with Pooh Shiesty. You know, yeah. I don't think there was a big uptick in his past catalog because he was already like, you know, a hot artist.
Right.
But, you know, I think it was a big driver in his, you know, new album doing what it did and doing what it's doing. Yeah, most definitely. It is crazy. And, you know, shout out to the families, you know, condolences to the families and all that with all those names that we dropped and all that terrible stuff that's been going on. Let's not let things fall apart, y'all.
No.
Last but not least, the Rolling Loud movie.
Yeah.
It's coming up October 3rd, I think is the drop date, 2nd or 3rd or something. I dropped that tab. Travis Scott, Sexy Red, Ski Mask, the Slum God. I think I saw Bella Black. It just, I'm sure there will be more cameos, you know, from hip hop.
Of course.
Let's watch the trailer.
Let's watch the trailer.
Got the trailer up there.
I am curious about this movie, but let's watch the trailer first. We'll talk about it.
Guys, Rolling Loud just announced their lineup. Can I go?
I don't know what a Rolling Loud is.
It's the biggest hip hop festival in the world. All the best rappers are going to be there.
He's not going to some hip hop festival in Hard Rock Stadium.
Where are we?
Rolling Loud.
Where are we?
Fishing at the lake house.
That's right. And now let these little bitches do some fishing.
Yeah.
Let's
go. Take your time.
You know what I love about you? You're not a helicopter parent. He's 13 and you let him just cruise around here by himself?
No, he just went to the bathroom.
He has been gone for a while, though.
In here? Daddy!
Did this pervert just call himself daddy?
No, I'm looking for my son. You wish that pervert was your daddy. Hello?
I've been flying out of town for some.
He's probably just out there having a great time.
What do you mean he's lost?
It's Rolling Loud. Think about your first concert.
My first concert was Lilith Fair. We saw Sarah McLachlan.
This is his Lilith Fair.
Oh my God. This is nothing like fucking Lilith Fair.
Who lives to go find your kid, man?
You got him.
It's like some superhero, super father shit. I appreciate you saying that. Travis Scott.
Hi, honey.
Hi, how's everything going?
Oh, everything's going pretty good.
You would have gotten a big screen and all the security looking for.
Oh, you saw that?
You jumped off a Ferris wheel, right?
No, I threw someone off a Ferris wheel.
Okay. It's tight. Okay. There's some gangster shit right there.
Let's come outside. Tune the night. Take your time. Get your money.
Okay. Is this movie like Damage Control for Rolling Loud?
It feels like either that or some corporate slapaganda.
When I seen Travis Scott, well, first off, trailer pretty cool. I mean, it's showing a lifestyle of when somebody goes to Rolling Loud. I get it. But immediately when I seen Travis in my brain, I'm like, yo, wasn't it a lawsuit or something that was happening in like 2018, 2019 with like the crowd stampede? So I'm like, okay. So I look it up and it says Travis Scott faces a lawsuit alleging he caused the crowd stampede at the 2019 Rolling Loud Festival in Miami, has separately had his set cut short at Rolling Loud, California in 2023. So it's
and then the whole Astro World thing, yeah,
right in the Astro World. So it's like, I don't know, like is this movie a part of like trying to uplift the people and letting them know that Rolling Loud is still a great thing to be at or experience? I don't know. It's just that's what it looked like to me. The fact that Travis is in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the fact that they like are painting this story around it, like, because the footage, like, you know, the concert footage looked like official concert footage.
Right,
it didn't
right,
look like
exactly.
done for this movie. You could easily see, you know, the difference in production.
Right.
That clip that I just watched, you know, that we just watched, and it just seemed like they tried to paint this story on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
But they did say that it was filmed at least 2 years ago or a year ago or something like that. And so yeah, that would still fit the timeline of them trying to do Damage Control, most definitely. Yeah, and I when I first heard about it, I envisioned like the show. I was like, the Rolling Loud movie? Like, what?
They're not doing that, B. They're not doing the show. They're not doing that.
A 16-year-old me thought like, oh, it's gonna be the show. Like, man. And when I saw the trailer, when I first saw that trailer, I was like, it just, you know, bad taste in my mouth. Like, don't adopt this thing of ours for that. It does look funny. You know, it's Owen Wilson. Like, how can I not laugh at him?
Right.
Like, you know, wacky guy there.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, this ain't that.
It's not on my list to watch, but at some point in time, I will watch it. You know what I'm saying? I will watch it. You know, it's funny because now that you bring up the show, like that type of movie and behind the scenes experience is something that I used to watch all the time, especially when I'm working with artists. I would put on the show. I will put that on amongst other, you know, I'll put Fade to Black on there. I'll put Rhyme and Reason on there. I play these documentaries and these shows for the artists to explain to them or just get them ready and prep for the lifestyle or the world they will become a part of. You know what I mean? The show is showing you the how they're putting together the tour, who's all involved in organizing the tour, picking the right artists, what's happening behind the scenes, how people the bus is breaking down, how people getting there, what they doing on the bus.
By showing you it at the highest level.
Right.
Like, all these artists are going to get into that type of stuff. It's not going to be there, but it's giving them something, you know, to aspire to work towards.
Exactly. Like, that's important. And then, you know, at the time when we first watched the show, that was a prerequisite for technically the next 10 to 12 years of star artists.
Right.
Like DMX, Ja Rule, Jay-Z, Method Man, Redman. That's 10, 12 years of domination right there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like those type of programming, I would say, hip hop culture programming, that's what I like to watch because it gives you an in-depth look of who's coming up, who's at the top, who's working. And man, sometimes I'll just put it up on my TV when we're working on records. It's just up there. Just watch it. You know what I'm saying?
We don't get those anymore. Like, they're at least not on that scale.
Right.
All these people who are, you know, shooting everything in their daily lives and, you know, especially these streamers, like, you know, a lot of times people aren't just streaming themselves. They're streaming what's going on.
Right.
I watch a lot of those. There's this guy in Vegas. God, is it Big T? I think it is Big T. Shout out Big T. He roams the strips and he checks out all the events that are going on, and just he don't show himself, you know, but he streams like all these big events. Pretty damn dope, you know. And if we had something like that in the streaming world, then maybe we could get like a Rhyme Fest like documentary, like that would be pretty damn dope, you know, or a Dreamville. You know, they always do their spin, which also feels like propaganda, like but yeah, it feels like that. Nothing feels like the show did anymore, like Rhyme Reason or these.
For shits and giggles, before we get out of here, let's put together the show part 2. Let's put it together with names. Okay, so there was 2 artists at the top. At that time, it was Jay-Z and DMX. Those were the 2 at the top, right? So that means we got to pick 2 at the top. Then there was the co-head, not the co-headliners, but the level below. There was Ja Rule, Method Man and Redman, and Beanie Siegel and Memphis Bleak. Yeah, that was the undercard. And then a director. No, we gotta add the director. Let's just start with there. If it was the show now, 2026, who are we putting in these categories? Now you know these new artists, they don't really get along like that, but let's indulge. That was the first thing that I was gonna say. Like, can we even get that type of show, that type of concert anymore? Like that sounds a bit far-fetched. With the artists that that are immediately jumping out to me. If I could say, you know, a director off top, I'd Calmatic for sure. Slossie Eniga. Calmatic. Slossie Eniga would do something fucking dope with it. Fire. There's a lot out. There's a lot out there. 6 Sev. Shout out to homie 6 Sev. He probably put something together that would be really fucking dope and on the same type of tip. We could bring back Ava DuVernay. You know what I'm saying? She'll jump in, or Issa Rae and her team. Right. They could put something together. Fire. Maybe the main artist is not rappers. Maybe it's R&B artists. Who knows? I think 50 Cent would do it some justice if he would. Do a show part 2. I think he would show up. Eminem. Actually as a director. Yeah. Actually as a director. That would be hilarious. Yeah. I would say as a main, I would say, let's do this. Let's do this. What if it's J. Cole and like I want to say, like, I would love for it to be like, I just don't see anybody on the level as him unless it's the other big 3. Like, it's hard. But I'd say we could do a Future. J. Cole and Future would be fire. I'd say a T.I. would be good. We're talking about the show part 2, the 2 headlining artists. I'd say a T.I. would be dope. You had it right the first time. I would say Future and J. Cole would be epic. Now, again, these are not like the original show. They're not artists that we're looking forward to be the biggest. They're the biggest now. Right. They're the biggest now. Right. I would say Future and J. Cole, that's the spectrum. That's lyricism, performance, vibes, energy, track. That's all of it. And this is the key. The trickle down is even better. Yeah. Because for me, what I would do, I would pick like instead of Meth and Redman, I'll pick my guys, Griselda, Benny, Conway, and Gun. They gotta go. They gotta go in. Then I would pick under Future side. Well, I'm not saying it's a side, but this is the undercard.
Right.
I would do probably like Big X the Plug, or
yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I would pick up Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've never been up on my Pooh Shiesty. I know a couple songs. I don't. Yeah. So I
would pick somebody like him. I would also pick like oh man, it's not hard, but it's hard. You know what I mean? Right. I would pick a JID.
That's what I thought you were first gonna say.
Yeah, I would say JID as an under, like that'll be fire. Because Future gonna do his thing. He gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go nuts. I mean, to be honest, I would also pick probably not Young Miami, but probably somebody like a female artist that got a good track record that's like really doing some great records. It don't have to be hip hop. It could be, they could just, do rapping and fun records. Somebody that's on the Future side that can combine and do something great. You know what I'm saying? I would incorporate that. I got to think about that. But I would also put like I'll put a Ransom or Nick Grant or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because not like the ones that I'm picking, not only can they, in my opinion, perform at a high level, but I would love to see their behind the scenes process as well. How they have fun, how they interpret going on 18 to 20 something dates at one time, the lifestyle in between that, dealing with their family on the phone with all of that energy. Like, that's what the show is about. It showed you every spectrum of everybody. I mean, even down to the previous show with Emil. Like, well, I would love to see what Rhapsody gonna do on tour with all of these great artists. Like, that's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying?
I think we won't get another show because that was fun. That was fun. Right. Shout out to the show. Like, everybody, if you have not seen the show, there's a whole new generation, beyond the show, a whole few new generations.
Right.
If you haven't seen the show, go check that out. Take that from me and the counselor here.
Facts.
But one reason why we'll never get another show is because there are these big tours happening, but there's not that enthusiasm for what's going on anymore. And the filming of everything, the documentation of everything is way too saturated.
Right.
So, like, you gonna get 1,000 people who got the same footage as they showed in the show. Like, imagine if it was camera phones when the show was put on, when they did the show.
Right.
It would have been so hard to do it. Like, they'd have copyrighted everybody's. It would have been crazy.
Exactly.
That's one reason why they take people's phones nowadays when you go on the shows. But yeah, that's one reason why we won't get the show again, because we don't have the same enthusiasm for the, at least the hoi polloi of us.
Exactly.
Have the same enthusiasm for what goes on. Because when I go to the show, you're gonna see me get hyped. You're gonna see me.
You already know. I'm singing everything word for word. You already know.
Yep. Let's not let live shows fall apart. Let's not let any of this thing of ours fall apart.
Sure.
Damn, I need to go to a live show. We was just talking about Rolling Loud. I've never been to a Rolling Loud. You been to a Rolling
Loud? Twice.
Yeah.
I've been to. I think I went to 2016 or 17. And then I went to another one where I actually left early in like 2020. I mean, it was cool. I'm not a big festival goer. But if I want to go see somebody perform, I'll go. You know what I'm saying? I'll go for
festivals are rough. Yeah.
It's a lot. The concerts, and it's a lot. You know what I mean? I like, and for me, to be honest, I like to really sit down and enjoy a show per se. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy movies more than I enjoy concerts. That's just me. You know what I mean? Just me.
Word, man. Counselor?
You know it. You already know, man. It's the Council Party Rob, man. Local astronauts. That's all you need to know.
I am Frank 5D, writer, photographer, all that fly shit people adore. People, this is Things Fall Apart. Thank you for watching.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace.